I think the definition of greatness is to inspire the people next to you. I think that's what greatness is or should be. It's not something that lives and dies with one person. It's how can you inspire a person to then in turn inspire another person that then inspires another person. And that's how you create something that I think lasts forever. Yeah. And I think that's our challenge as people, is to figure out how our story can impact others and motivate them in a way to create their own greatness.
Right, if you really have an obsession to figure it out, you will figure it out, right? And every puzzle is constructed differently. Right, AI's situation when he came into the league was different than mine. Mike's situation in Chicago was different than mine. Right, everybody has a different puzzle, man. You just got to figure out your own puzzle.
It's how do you negotiate with yourself? I think that's the biggest thing. Is you talk about the mental side of it, but then like, what does that really mean? Like the thoughts that happen in your mind when you're going through a competitive situation or you're facing a tight deadline, you still don't have the idea yet. You know, that little voice telling you it's not that important, or does that little voice get the best of you? I think that's what separates people who go on to do great things versus people who don't, or people that do great things but in an inconsistent way.
I knew that I was not going to be stopped. So at the age of 18, this was my life, right? So you can't possibly become better than me because you're not spending the time on it that I do. Even if you want to spend the time on it, you can't, because you have other things. You have other responsibilities that are taking you away from it. So I already won.
And if this was a game, you'd suck it up and play. I play games with the flu. I play games with 102-degree fever, man.
Powerful.
You can't do that.
That is so powerful.
Right? You gotta be on, man. Like you can't, like I'd rather not be anywhere. I'd rather be on the track at 4 a.m. running wind sprints and, than be in a weight room at 6. And then be on the court at 9, and then train till 3, and to be back. Like I'd rather be doing that than anything else. So it wasn't like it was hard work. I just found what it is that I love to do.
And I think one of the things for some, if you follow basketball or not, that you and Mike had in common is that it wasn't, hey, I'm going to take 8 games off this year to try to stay healthy. The mindset of going, like that to you is comical, right? To do that.
What the hell is that, man? I don't know what that is. That's crazy. Seriously, it's crazy. Like, you got a lot of people paying their hard-earned money to come watch you perform. It's your job to be in shape. It's your job to be strong enough to perform at that level every single night. And as a competitor, I'm not ducking shit. Like it's not, oh my God, my back hurts, I'm sore. We got to play Vince Carter and Toronto Raptors tonight. We actually had this happen.
Well, it's been tough, but when I have tough situations, I try to look at them as challenges. I don't look at them as something where it becomes a burden or something that's heavy on my shoulders. I look at it as a challenge. It's something that, it's just a puzzle that you have to figure out no matter what.
You can't shortchange yourself. Like you're not cheating anybody but yourself. Right? I mean, you're tired. You're literally this far away from the line. Why would you not go that extra to touch the line? Right? So if I let him get away with that, right, all of a sudden he starts maybe a cheat something over here, right? Not give his best over here. And as years go on, he's going to be he's not going to reach his full potential because he's been taking these little shortcuts that just add up. And you can't let that happen. Our job as teachers, as mentors, as inspirers, it's our responsibility to hold them accountable to those things.
That's all you need, just to reload.
Yeah, because I'm already in shape. I don't need to sleep to be in shape and ready to go. Like I can run all day already. My stamina's already where it should be. So like whether or not I'm sleepy or not, like being sleepy and then being fatigued are two different things. I can play the game and be sleepy and not be fatigued. It's fine.
What's the least?
I say, listen, you know the answer to that. I don't know. Like you know what makes you uncomfortable when you play. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing for kids nowadays is that they want to rely on coaches too much and workout guys. Which is fine to have them help you work out, but you have to tell them what you need, right? You have to be able to say, okay, I feel uncomfortable with this. And if you don't know, then you're not as prepared as you should be, right? You need to know what your strengths and weaknesses are first. And then, I can tell you some of the things, some of the rhythmic things, or some of the exercises, or how much repetition you need to be doing on certain things. But you got to know your game. I'm not going to fold. I'm not going to, crawl up in the ball. I'm just not going to do that. So, you can either let this situation continue to affect you, or you can
win at something. So if you're struggling in this area, you don't want to struggle in this area too. So you want to, try to compartmentalize your emotions and focus on what you're doing at that moment in time. And you'll find that when you do that, it brings peace to other aspects of your life as well.
If I could work that hard every day, with being blessed with the physical tools that I have, what would my career be? And I made a promise to myself from that day that I was going to work that hard every single day so that when I do retire, I have no regrets. And that was the most important thing for me, is to leave no stone unturned, get better every single day. And if I lived that way, then over time, I'd have something that was beautiful. But that was my philosophy. It seems like a pretty simple one, but if you live your life to just get better every single day, you do that for 20 years.
Drive a hard bargain. The people that I've always had issues or problems with are the people that don't demand excellence for themselves. I won't tolerate that. Because when the career is said and done, they're not going to be looking at you, a player on his team, and saying, you didn't win a championship. No, they're going to be looking here, right? So it's my responsibility to make sure everybody's holding themselves accountable. I'm holding you accountable. If we just played a back-to-back and we have practice the next day, your ass better be there, tape ready to go, right? Because I'm there and I'm ready. And I just got finished lifting weights for 2 hours.
My philosophy was a very simple one. And this is where I think film plays a big part of my life. Rudy was one of my favorite films growing up. Right? And if you guys haven't seen Rudy, I suggest you go, you watch Rudy.
My wife and I went on vacation. It was after 2008 finals, where we lost to the Celtics. And we went on vacation in France, and we're walking around. And the thing that was really beautiful to me was how beautiful everything was. How beautiful nature was, the flower, the trees, everything was just gorgeous. And my mind got to thinking, well, I noticed the beauty of these things in their elements, but these things cannot be beautiful without the sun. But yet I'm not sitting here and saying, wow, the sun is so beautiful, right? I'm appreciating their own standalone beauty, right? And by the same token, the sun also knows when to disappear, right? Too much of the sun becomes hazardous, right? And so that helped me understand how to lead my team.
It's about appreciating every moment for me, because we've been through so much, and as your career kind of, I'm not an old man, but you start seeing the light at the end of the tunnel is much brighter than the one at the beginning of the tunnel. So it's really about appreciating every day as it comes. Every game, every win, every loss, every practice. It's just soaking every day in. And
I understand that's actually part of the process of succeeding. I'm not one that really believe in failure. I believe you have setbacks, and you have to learn from those. You have to learn what are those landmines that can be avoided the next time. What are those pitfalls? And you have to learn from that stuff. And so I welcome those things. It's a part of life.
It's fun to kind of challenge, from a 17-year-old kid and kind of challenge what's normal or what the system was. That was pretty cool.
Like you're always going after it. Always going after it, always going after it. And if there's a challenge that ensues, oh, good, I want to see how I stack up to that. So you go after it, And it's just, it's fun. It's like you get a chance to compete against opponents, and you get a chance to see where you stack up against them. It's like, I want to see. Maybe I'm not good enough today. But that's fine. I'll be good enough the next time I see you, though. And you get a chance to always measure yourself. And it's just fun to do that.
For me, it's all about challenges. And I just kind of had to sit back and say, do I want to take on another challenge? I hear players, especially my peers, say, well, he's only this good because he plays with Shaq. And if I played with Shaq, I'd have 3 rings. Or if he leaves Shaquille O'Neal, he'll never win another title. And you hear this type of stuff coming from your peers.